Welcome to Into the Mind of a Madman. You are now rocking with me, the Madman, and today is Streets 101. Before I get into class, I want to first start by expressing who I am as the professor. I grew up in Red Hook, Brooklyn, the projects, the inner city of Brooklyn, New York. I did what you would call a skid bid in the streets. Nothing long term. I was not a kingpin. I didn't make all the money. I wasn't selling weight and keys and bricks and all of these things, right? However you kind of want to frame it. What I mean by skid bid, I did a short stint in the streets, far as selling drugs or whatever, what have you. So I, I'm ultimately just a good kid who did some things, and I have a kind of perspective on how you should handle yourself in the streets. How from just being a good kid or somebody who's deep diving into the street life. I've been on this internet for years now, and a lot of people have said their perspectives on how what street code should be or what is street code. And to me, there's always just this one piece that a lot of people leave out, and that's kind of what I wanted to speak to. And hopefully this will give you a full circle of education of what it is to be a young thug. Now, there's a couple there's a couple words that I must give the definitions to, just so you can understand my stance, or if you haven't seen on the internet what these words mean, um you'll get an understanding of what the class will entail. You know what I'm saying? And these words are similar in fashion of how the streets see you and what it means to uphold street code, street values, as somebody who wants to be in these streets per se, and that is being an informant, being a snitch, a rat, or any of these, wherever you are in your particular hood, whatever you want to call it. These are all pretty much the same. Now, there is a difference that I want to inform you on, far as what is a snitch versus what is an informant. And to me, a snitch is somebody who's in the streets, uh, rocking with street rules per se, while the ups and downs of the streets is going, and you get caught up by the law, and for you to either reduce your sentence, get out of a sentence, get out of being locked up, be in all of these things, you then tell on other street things that's going on so you can be free. You know what I'm saying? Or, like I said, have a reduced sentence. You're either telling on co-defendants, or you're telling on somebody else that is doing illegal things. To me, that's all snitching. Snitching is not just telling on your co-defendant. You know what I'm saying? Being an informant is somebody who, to me, is not telling on necessarily crimes happening. And if the difference between an informant and a snitch is, an informant just informs police and detectives and such, what's going on within the culture of the streets. Like for example, hey, this particular crew hangs out on this block or in this building. They wear these colors. They recruited these people. They may have had an altercation with this other crew, and these are their rival crews. An informant is informing and giving information of the workings of the street, but they may not necessarily be telling crimes. Now, these are all things that's wrong or bad within street rules because whether you are an informant or you are a snitch rat or whatever, you never should be telling anything to police officers. And I'm stating that because there's a big story going on right now. And I like to do these evergreen pieces with Young Thug right now, right? He's a rapper. I'm never going to speak on that because for who I believe myself to be, and that's not really a street dude like that. And like I said, I dibbled and dabbled and did a little short bid. So I'm not here to speak on his whole thing per se and everything that's going on right now. This is just to help the future young thugs of the world if you want to dibble and dabble in that game. But his whole thing was, and a lot of people who they may consider be a rat, a snitch, they say things like, well, whatever I said in my interrogation, it didn't get people locked up. It didn't get somebody time. I didn't actually tell a crime on somebody. But you informed the police of the inner workings of whatever was going on. You see what I'm saying? You Whatever the police knew or didn't know, you may have gave them information, corroborated information, or simply gave them a lead, a new motive or a new suspect or somebody new to investigate. You know what I'm saying? This is why, as street code number one, in most understanding, like you could listen to Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments, but it's never talk to the cops. Never talk to police. There's nothing a street guy, a young thug, should be talking to the police about for any reason. This is something I must say as the number one because I guess the new generation, they're getting I don't know if it's the technology, I don't know if it's just a new way of thinking, uh smartphones or and like whatever's going on, people feel like I can talk to officers and I could spin them. Like this is the new term. I could spin the police. There is no spinning police. Let's get that done right now. You cannot spin police. There is no such thing as spinning police. We must understand there are two things, or there is a difference in talking to a police officer or detective or somebody's investigating a crime in an interrogation room, and at the scene of the crime, uh at a store, whenever they approach you, whatever the circumstances is. There's a difference between talking to an investigator on your own and and speaking within the confines of a courtroom between a judge and a magistrate or a jury. You have to know that you may be able to, in a sense, spin the jury or the judge or the magistrate or a lawyer within a courtroom. Whether you're saying I plead the fifth, whether you're saying I don't remember, whether your lawyers advising you certain things to say and not say, or you're giving objections, your lawyer's giving objections to certain line of questioning. In a sense, you can be deceitful within a courtroom. The same rules do not apply. Again, the same rules do not apply within an investigation room. If you understand police tactics, detective tactics, and this is a legal tactic, they're legally allowed to lie, manipulate, lead the witness, uh say play good cop, bad cop. I know you heard of that. There's there's a legal way they're allowed to gain information that they are not allowed to use these tactics, or they can try, but your lawyer's there to object to these line of questioning, as I said earlier. So when you are being interrogated, you are being questioned, you are talking to police or detectives, any person who's investigating a crime or street activity, whether you are under arrest or not, please understand, whether you are under arrest or not, you have the right to remain silent, because anything you say can and will, can, it can be, and it will be used against you in a court of law. Once again, you have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. That, understand, you have that right whether they read them to you or say them to you or not. You never have to talk to the police without your lawyer present. So as a street guy, as a young thug, whether they're saying they're arresting you or not, this goes out to anybody in the community, anybody who's saw something, whenever. You do not have to be arrested to stand by this. Understand that. So the only thing you should be saying as a street dude is, if you are under arrest, is I do not wish to speak, because they're going to read the rest of your Miranda rights, right? They're going to read the rest of your Miranda rights. And then you say, no, I do not wish to speak. I want a lawyer. I want my lawyer. If you have a court appointed lawyer, or if you don't have a lawyer, I want a lawyer. They'll give you a court appointed lawyer. Or I want my lawyer. Then you go contact your lawyer. If they want talk to you out in the street, like they come to your house and, hey, can we question? Talk to my lawyer. There is no place in street rules for any street being to be talking to police or investigators. That is it. Is there is no spinning the cops. There is no spinning police. There is no spinning detectives. They can lie, they can manipulate, they can lead the witness, they can do all of these things. It is legal practice for them to do these things to get you to say something that'll help them in their investigation. That's just plain and simple. There's no reason somebody should be in a 10-minute investigation or have a 10-minute interview, a 5-minute interview, a 2-hour interview without their lawyer present. It should be a matter of 30 seconds, if that. How you could time me right now. They whether and I'm saying this whether you're arrested or not. If you're not arrested and they saying, "Hey, we want to talk to you. Hey, we got information that you were around when such and such happened. Can we talk to you? Can we bring you down to the precinct to talk to you? Can we talk to you in front of your house? Can we talk to you at the store? Can you was just walking down the street and they stop you?" No, talk to my lawyer. I have nothing to say. Talk to my lawyer. If you're under arrest, I do not wish to speak. May I have my lawyer? I want a lawyer. That's it. However long that takes, that 10 seconds, 15 seconds, that's all you should be saying. Because when your lawyer comes into this interrogation room, when your lawyer is contacted about, okay, we want to sit down and have a conversation about what they seen, what they didn't see, because we heard this person was there or not, then your lawyer can help you, guide you through this interrogation, because all interviews are interrogations. What, like I said, whether they read you your Miranda rights or not, you do not have to speak. Whether you're under arrest or not, you do not have to speak. I'm saying it over and over because this is a big thing right now in 2025 with these new young thugs thinking, "Oh, this is my opportunity to spin the police." They're not playing by the same rules. This is not the court of law. This is not the court of law where they're bound by certain rules and certain regulations within the court. This is an interrogation room. This is at your house. Police can they can falsify documents. They could write a statement, especially if it's not the reason why they say, "Can we go down to the court, to the precinct," right? Is because they want to have video in case something happens. Like their room has video cameras in it. So now when you're on video and you say something incriminating to you or somebody else, it's like a backup for them to say, "We didn't coerce him into saying this. We didn't beat him up into saying this. We didn't trick him into saying this." Even though they are allowed to lead you if you don't know, "Oh, this line of questioning is leading me into saying something I didn't want to say." But in the courthouse where you have a lawyer present, because they say a fool that represent somebody who represents themselves is an idiot or something, whatever. So most of the times, whether a court appointed lawyer or your own paid lawyer, when the other lawyer is leading you or saying certain line of questions, they'll object to it, they'll stop it, and the judge can overrule it or sustain it and all of these things, right? But what I'm saying is, in an investigation where they may be allowed to hold you for 48 hours, they may not have fed you, you locked up with 100 people, depending on how big the bullpen is, and all of these things, like the jail room, the cell, where you're locked up with people, and it's the weekend, or you want to get out, or you feel like you're innocent, you wasn't involved, and all of these particular things going on, your adrenaline's going, you're not thinking, oh, I didn't get a phone call to my mom, my peoples, they don't, my girl, my wife, they don't know where I'm at, they may think I'm missing my kids, this is the first time I'm locked up, I think I'm scared, I got in the fight in the bullpen, I see another rival member, all these things is going on within this time frame that you may not be thinking straight, and you may just get into this interrogation room, in this interview room, however you want to frame it, and say things, or you, so they want to bring you down to the precinct. Back on track, they want to bring you down to the precinct to have all this on camera, because if they talk to you at your house, you could be like, I didn't say that, I didn't say this, they're lying, this. They kind of want to have backup. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. So they want to have backup to, this is how this is how the interrogation went, this is how the interview went with this particular person. And they're gonna call it an interview. We just want to talk to you. You're not a suspect. We just want to find out what you know about this and this and that. Hey, this is where the definitions come in that I brought up earlier. If you're a street dude, or not a street dude, just because you are not specifically telling on a crime, which may not make you a snitch or a rat, but you are an informant. You see what I'm saying? You may not necessarily tell, yo, I seen Billy shoot John. I seen Billy rob John. I see Billy fighting with John, or whatever the crime is. You may just say, yeah, I know Billy had an issue with John. That's enough to form motive. Hey, I know Billy is in this gang and John is in this gang, and they're rival gangs. You may not necessarily be saying something far as a snitch, or you telling on a crime to help you out of a crime. I mean, help you out of a situation, because they say, yo, we just want to talk to you. We just figure you may know something that'll help our investigation. You might think you helping your mans. I understand it. Like, I get the logic. Oh, I'm helping. Oh, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna say this and say they cool and say this and that, and they could spin it how they want to spin it. They can use your information how they want to use it. Just because it's recorded don't mean you can't have 10 seconds out of the tape missing. Just because it's recorded don't mean they can say, oh, nah, this is what you said, this is what you meant, and now after 47 hours of trying to get you to say something, or you said something and they trying to reframe what you said. No, didn't you mean it like this? Or I thought you meant it like this. And now you haven't eaten. Now you haven't seen this person, and you thought, yo, I'ma just go down here. They just want to talk to me. I'll be down here 20 minutes and I'm gone. I'll be down here no longer than an hour and I'm letting out. No, they got you for 48 hours that they could hold you with no cause. We have no justification of holding this person, other than we just want to starve him out, and have him sitting in the box under a bright light and not no food, and now he may just be willing to say anything just to get up out of here. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, it may not be nothing to go to put a case on you or put a case on your opposition or put a case on the person like your peers, your other members in your crew. It may be you may give up information about somebody you don't know that you didn't even realize, oh, that links to a whole nother case that we had. You see what I'm saying? So please stop thinking just because I don't pin a crime on someone that I cannot now be used as an informant just to so the cops will have some type of understanding of what is what within the streets. Who runs what block, what car somebody drives, what house or what building somebody owns, what colors is somebody wearing, what age group somebody's recruiting, whatever it is. You just may be informing them and give them a better understanding of what is happening. So now when they start seeing things and now when they're riding by and trying to put cases together and investigation together, they go back to the notes and go, okay, now we know this person's over here, they opposite is over here, this person slept with this person girl, or this is they baby mama and now they with them. And, you know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to give a crime and be a particular rat. But an informant, a snitch, a rat, under the values of being in the streets, it's all wrong. It's all a violation. And with that being said, the next thing I want to get to, and my final thing that I just don't see people talk about is the good civilian guy, girl, whatever. Oh, I'm not a street person. I'm a taxpaying citizen, or I go to school, or whatever. I'm a basketball player. I'm a singer, rapper. I'm not involved. That's not what I do. Cool. If that's not what you do, please, and I'm saying please for a reason, please stop being around and hanging around street individuals. I don't care if they're your cousin. I don't care if they're your brother. I don't care if they're your father. I don't care if it's your kindergarten friend and y'all in high school and y'all in college. If you know somebody is in the streets and they're living by street rules and you do not, please do not hang around them in no way. That means, and I'm talking about they're hanging around, driving in their cars, having them bring you to school, having them bring you downtown to go shopping, having just chilling with them, or like I said, chilling with them in front of the buildings, on the blocks, chilling with them in front of the stores, going to the movies, all of the things. I understand that's the homie. I understand that's the family. If they are involved in street things and street things happen while you are with them, you are a part of the street things. There is no separation of the streets when the streets is happening. That goes for when the opposition comes and want to shoot something up, stab something up, fight. When the cops come and you want to be riding in the car, when you know this person is involved in street things and you just wanted to ride because it was cold outside, because you didn't have no gas money or you didn't have no bus fare, you just thought it would be right quick and All of the things, everything happens quick. From being busted to shootouts to robberies, everything happens quick. Just know that everything happens quick. There's nothing quicker to happen than it's nothing quicker that'll happen to you than saying, "Damn, I thought it was just gonna be right. I was just looking. I just turned my head for a second, and now they own you." Understand that most of the time, especially you as a civilian or you as a good person, a regular person who don't do any street activity, most of the time your head or your mind is not on a swivel. The person you may be with is on a swivel, but you ain't gonna see them people who's been scoping your partner out for the last 3 hours and they just waiting for the perfect time to shoot his car up or shoot the block up. You think you just hanging with the homies. You think you just hanging with your brother. You thinking you just hanging with your family. You think you hanging with your uncle. You think you hanging with your friend. And next thing you know, they shooting the block up. You hit or you going to jail because you riding in the car. Yo, I was just going to, nah, all of that out is out. Once these people are committed to street life, you have to cut ties. And I'm not saying the unfortunate you at the cookout with the family cookout and they come through and you know what I mean, you at the family reunion and all of that. That's something different. And for the street people, what I'm saying to y'all is if you are involved in the streets and you know whatever it's wartime, whether especially if it's wartime, but you know you selling drugs and you running this block and you know you might have stepped on somebody's toes, you might have one of your crew members may have gotten to a fight and all that. I'm saying to y'all, please stay away from y'all family. Please stay away from y'all friends, cause y'all know what type of beef is out there that you have. I'm saying not being a street, not being what the streets come with. I'm talking about what you know you have on your plate, what your actual beef is. You know what that is. You know what them people are willing to do. You know what you did to somebody and now they want revenge. So please stay away from your people. But I'm tired, and I'm saying this because I'm tired of hearing people, "Oh, I was in the car. It ain't my gun. It ain't my drugs." I understand. I understand it ain't your gun. I understand it ain't your drugs. I understand you didn't know it was a stolen car. But you knew this dude was in the streets. So when he comes to you, hey, it's cold. It's 30 degrees. It's snowing outside. Hey, you trying to get home or you trying to get to the grocery store? You trying to get to her house or whoever house? Hey, just come hop in the ride. I got you. It's gonna be 30 minutes, 20 minutes up the block, up the street. You ain't gotta take this bus to that train to this bus. You know what I mean? Oh, I could just drive you up. Hey, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I don't know if the cops is gonna hop out on the next block. I don't know if the beef you in is coming. I don't know if you did your own homies wrong and they looking to get you took out. I don't know what you got going on. You in the streets, anything can happen. Nah, I wait on the bus. Nah, I wait on the train. Nah, I'm waiting on my Uber. All of the things. If you see that street person who's your cousin and you know, hey, can you take me over here right quick and he might be trying to get a sale, he might be trying to re-up, he might be trying to do whatever, or she, because you know it's women in the game now, all of the things. Hey, nah, I can't do that. I know how you get down. I don't need to be involved in none of that. See what I'm saying? I'm tired of people thinking they could be around these people and then when things go down, oh my God, I don't know, I can't be locked up, and you need to take the charge. And hey, if I don't, this is my rule of thumb as a regular civilian, as a non-street person. If you are around a street person long enough, you are subject to street rules. That's just how I feel. You could not like it or not. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: for all people who are regular people and they don't, and you know somehow you don't know you're involved with somebody who's in the streets, right? You're oblivious to it. You just met this person, is a boyfriend, girlfriend. You just met this person. Say if they got, I'm not gonna say ops. I'm not gonna say the beef, because when the beef is on, you just kind of innocent bystander. I can't really help you with that. But if they're under investigation by the feds, by the state, by any type of law enforcement, if you happen to just meet them, for sure, if they were being investigated and the police are like surveillancing, tapping phones, following them or whatever, and like I said, you just met them, the cops know you just met them. The cops know you don't have any involvement. And I'm saying that with a caveat. You don't have much to worry about far as being locked up away. Like, say, as a woman, you just met this dude, y'all was in the club or whatever, whatever. You don't really know too much of dude. You trying to get to know dude. He's a street dude. You don't know that, right? Because he's just a dude in the club. Say you get in this car, he gets busted, pulled over, whatever, whatever. He got whatever in his car. If they know this person is a known felon, drug dealer, whatever, street guy, and they run his history and they run your history, and they know, this person just met in the club. We've been watching him for a while. We just decided to pull him up tonight. Nigga, he was driving drunk. There was our opportunity to actually arrest him, or whatever the case may be. More than likely, you'll be good. You don't have to panic. You might have to spend some time in jail just to things get sorted out. You know what I'm saying? They know, most detectives, most police officers, when these things happen, they're pretty knowledgeable of who they're dealing with versus, oh, this person just got caught up in some, right? Now the caveat to that is, just because you were in the car, that don't mean they will just let you walk away. They'll try as much as possible to use you in saying something to get them locked up. Again, interrogation instead of the courtroom. If now this is your first strike, this is your first offense, you don't really know this person, they'll try to convince you to go, "Aye, listen, he's not claiming the guns and the drugs. We know the car is his. He was driving. We know who he is. But if we can give you some time, and if you don't want to do some time, you'll say, hey, this is his. This is this. You know, sir. Where really, I'm not saying you have to say nothing, but you shouldn't be saying anything. Again, you shouldn't be saying anything without a lawyer. You as the civilian, you as the non-street person, you should not be saying anything without a lawyer present. I don't care what the situation is. but they will try to use you as a corroborating witness, even though they'll be pretty sure that you don't have nothing to do with this. You get what I'm saying? But for that's a rare case. That's very rare. But for all the other people who just want to hang around the street, dude, and hang around these people, hang around these young thugs, and especially you want to claim something because you hanging around them so much, you want to. I'm just claim certain uh claim certain sets, claim certain gangs, claim certain neighborhoods, just because you are from there or you're used to them, or this is the, like I said, your brother, your sister. If you not that, if you claiming it but you're not about that, I don't want to hear nothing. If you straight up home from college and you know the homie's been home wrecking havoc, when you come home from college, don't go hang out with the homies. Because if you get caught up, you with the homies. The opposition, the people they got in beef with, if as a civilian, as a regular person, if you're around these street people long enough, those other people gonna think you with them, no matter who they may think you are. They may know, oh nah, that's the homie cousin. He's a good kid. But when the war is on, the war is on. Just point blank, period. Like I said, the police may know, oh, that's the homie. He ain't really into all of that. I know he just came home from college. That's his brother, whatever. But it all leads to just because you are 100% innocent and not a street person, that don't mean you cannot get caught up in something to not whereas you may lead to jail, but like I said before, it may lead you to at least testify against this person, just to say, hey, I know this person to be this and affiliated with this particular party. See what I'm saying? They may use your innocence to persuade you to speak on something you actually have nothing to know about. You see what I'm saying? Again, the least I understand everybody's don't want to be a snitch. I don't want to be a rat. And we in every YouTube blog is always explaining what's the difference between a civilian and what's the difference between the snitch and all of these things. You could get that definition everywhere. But I'll never hear people talk about what it is to be an informant, what it is to be a person who is a civilian and not a street person, who always just want to hang around street people. If you hang around street people long enough, you will be seen as the same street people you claim you are not. I don't want to have to say this again. This is Streets 101. I'm not doing 102. I'm not doing 201. I'm not here to just keep speaking on the streets. That's not who I am. I'm a regular civilian person. I don't need to be looking over my shoulder about nothing. I go to work, I come home, I provide for my family. I'm not in it. But I just have to say this, and hopefully you can understand it from somebody who has grown up in the inner city, in the projects, in the hood per se. If you however you want to frame it. I grew up there. I know about it. I was around it. Whether I was 10 toes in or I did a skid bid, like I said earlier, I had to be aware of what was going on around me. So I picked up on it, whether if you actually know me and be like, hey, dude is a good kid, because I'm claiming to be a good kid. Trust me, I'm claiming to be a good kid. I'm not claiming to be no type of kingpin, no type of drug lord, no type of nothing. I'm claiming to be a good kid who grew up in a mad city, who had to gain an understanding of the surroundings he was in, so now he could spit it to other people, and hopefully this just gives you the whole full circle of everything that what the streets entail. So please, my people, just remember those valuable lessons. This is Streets 101. I see you later. Peace.